Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these. These funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest. Like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy. They are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny, listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Hello and welcome to the Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show. My name's Marco and joining me today is Lucas. Lucas, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm well, Marco. How are you?
Good.
That's good. Speak up, buddy.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You just screamed that last bit at me. How you going, man? It's Tuesday. It's we've broken the cardinal rule yet again.
Yep, yet again. To no one's surprise but ours.
I don't think we even have to hash over what the cardinal rule is anymore.
You guys can fill in the gaps, read between the lines.
Yeah. So we're in store for a little bit of a different episode this week.
Should we be doing things a bit differently around here?
Yeah, and in what sort of way?
We're going to be talking about a different sport to the one we usually talk about.
Yeah, so we usually talk about basketball.
Yes, basketball.
Yeah. Go on.
And this week we're going to be talking about football.
Yes.
Oval ball, as they call it.
Yeah.
Squish ball.
Yeah.
The Sharon.
Yeah.
Pigskin.
Yeah.
More specifically, our shared beloved Essendon Football Club. We're going to be trying to cover all facets of it. Obviously, we're... you may have heard that the men's season ended a few days ago. They won't be playing any more finals. We won't be hearing that song for a while, will we, Lucas?
Yeah, and we didn't hear it after a game.
No, we haven't heard it for a while either.
Yeah, I can't believe my strike rate on attending Essendon games and wins in a season where we won half of the games.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Lost half of the games and then drew the other game.
What was it? What was your strike rate?
Well, I didn't.
Drew the other game.
I actually didn't study that. But I want to say it was below 50%, but like not really close to either.
No.
I can remember viewing wins against Hawthorn and North Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then I went to 6 other games and lost them all.
Yeah.
We even went to the Gold Coast for a game.
Yeah. Yeah, and we lost that one, didn't we?
That one
yeah, I'm trying to think. North game, we definitely won that game.
Yeah.
That might be it for me.
No shit.
That might be the only game I saw us win. Or I maybe went to the first St Kilda game, actually.
True.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd remember that.
No, I might be getting it mixed up with the St Kilda game last year where they smashed us, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So what, yeah, okay.
Anyway, whatever the case is, we're there for much more losses than we were wins.
Yes, that's undeniable.
Yeah.
Now, should we start with the good news or the bad news?
Let's start with the bad news.
Or the men's team. We are still bad. There was a lot of I think what eventuated. As the season played out, false hope at the start of the season.
Yeah.
We were playing well, but like it was also a lot of players beating their individual matchup rather than us playing the bloody Essendon brand of footy, you know? There was no real brand of footy other than letting transition goals get kicked on us, which I think any team could do if they wanted. But yeah, how do you feel about the season just gone?
Yeah, pretty bad, and I was pretty ready. Even at sort of when we started dropping off, I was like, all right, like I'd actually be happy if we didn't make finals from here because we've played some really good games. There's like 4 or 5 young players who've taken like a significant leap. We've managed to find roles and form for, players like Harry Jones. And then like, they just like undid all of that in the last like 8 games of the season.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not even, there's nothing good I can take away from this.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go through the players, like I think there were 2 young players who I was just happy with week in, week out. And then every other one kind of, I feel like just regressed to where they'd been beforehand. For people who were like playing at the beginning of the season, there's obviously like Nate Caddy came in, did a really good job. Like the little bit of Nick Bryan we got to see was really, hopeful. Archie Roberts was really good in the last 4 games of the season as well. Yeah. But like, it was like, but why weren't they playing when we were bad? Like,
yeah.
Why were we not giving all of these like obviously really promising young players more game time when the game time was obviously there for them, because it just really didn't matter You know, it really didn't matter if we were playing the experienced players. We were still not a good football team.
Yeah, it seemed like selection was always quite puzzling.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get to Thursday evening, and I feel like the Bombers chat would be pretty outraged that player X would get picked again.
Yeah.
Player Y would not be allowed back into the team.
Yeah.
I feel like in that specific chat, I feel like I was quite level-headed throughout the season.
Okay.
I'm going to be very emotional with the way I'm going to ride all the highs and the lows. Just looking at the ladder now, there were only 3 teams with a worse percentage than us, which was the West Coast Eagles, the North Melbourne Kangaroos, and the Richmond Tigers, who combined to have less wins than us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we stood in terms of the disparity in games.
Yeah.
And had we not drawn that game, we actually would have finished 14th.
We actually finished with 2 more points than we did last season.
Yeah.
Thanks to that draw.
Yeah, we were a draw better.
because we kicked 5 more points on Anzac Day than we did last season.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only difference in our season.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy.
Results-wise.
I haven't actually looked at the table until now, but I didn't realise things actually are worse than I thought.
Yeah.
We talked like the chat about us being like, oh, can they still make the 8? No, we actually were flirting with the bottom 4.
Yeah. We could have won. 2 of those 3 games that we were hoping to win at the end of the season. It's still not made the 8. So the fact that we lost all of them, is much of a muchness, I would say.
Yeah, definitely much of a muchness. So I had another thing I was going to ask you. I'm sure it'll come out later in the episode. But yeah, where do you want to go to? Sort of like where should we start? Because we've got that one thing planned, which I'm really looking forward to. But is there anything that you wanted to really get out of the gates early?
I'm pretty excited for the one thing that we have planned. To be honest,
You're excited.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you feel about Brad Scott as a coach after this season?
Yeah, so my experience, this is kind of my introduction to Brad Scott as a coach. As you know, and listeners know, I was actually travelling last year throughout pretty much the whole footy season. I feel like I was here for maybe 2 rounds last year. Yeah. And then I was away for most of the season. I remember watching Anzac Day 2023 in Florida, just off the border of Macedonia. Right after watching the Lakers-Grizzlies playoff game. That was an unbelievable back-to-back. As soon as the first quarter started, we were up like 4 goals, and I was like, here we go, here comes the loss, and we lost. But we played well, and I feel like that we showed a bit of fight, we had some heart. I don't know, I feel like there's been a lot of chatter around the Bombers, maybe Brad Scott not being able to coach the way he wants to coach. Mm-hmm. But after having quite a telling conversation with North Melbourne fan James Gosling, he said he's already seeing the same issues with Essendon that Brad Scott had built with the Kangaroos, which is one of the worst things you could hear. Oh, you're doing copy and paste of North Melbourne. That's not really what you want to do. And he brought in Todd Goldstein and Ben McCarthy. But yeah, I think I need to see a season. I think I need to see another season. I don't think it's awful. I think it's fine. I think that the club is quite spineless. Yeah. And I don't think that's his fault.
Difficult place to be a coach, I would say.
Difficult place to be a coach. What are your thoughts on Brad Scott? I don't think it's... My opinion is not towards the coaching, but what's yours?
Yeah, I'm about the same. Like, I don't feel like I can have a fully negative opinion on him as a coach right now. Because like all the stuff that I think there were definitely moments where like I just disagreed with the selection vehemently, but I don't know like what coach would have made different selections. I think it's that thing where it's like I'm a fan, not a list manager, so like I don't know, maybe you do need to keep picking Jake Kelly week in, week out. Like, maybe that's just what you have to do if you want to field, 22 AFL players. True. But in my opinion, it's not something I would have done. But yeah, the issues that developed through the season were just like fully club culture. Yeah. I don't know, being haunted by the misdoings of our past.
What have we done wrong?
yeah, like everything that the way the wheels sort of came off at the end, it was just fully like, oh, this is just what being an Essendon fan has felt like for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
So it was completely unsurprising in that sense. And like if I have to put rose-colored glasses on, it's like we did trend in the right direction. I think if we'd finished on this points total and like the order of when our wins and losses was different, we'd be feeling completely different about it.
Brad Scott said the same thing.
Yeah.
He said we could have started 0-6 and finished the season 11-11.
Yeah.
And we'd have like the media on our side. So it's just like, you know, months from now, a year from now, people will see the overall picture of us growing.
But it's also like we saw you win games and be good at footy, and then we just saw you completely unable to recreate that later in the season. Yeah. I'm saying as a club, not to him as a coach. So yeah. so yeah, I think I'm the same as you. Like I don't think he's the problem yet. I think that could arise over the course of his 5-year contract or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The stuff that James Gosling was talking about, you know, it's scary to hear him say it. 2 years into the Brad Scott experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this moment in time, I'm not like, you know, he's an issue and would be better off with someone else.
Yeah. I think I sit in the same boat. I think my issue with Essendon has just been the way the club has been managed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the year that the 34 players got banned, I think that was the most clear cut. You need to rebuild, and we didn't rebuild.
Yeah.
And we were like, we'll have a bounce back season, and the club just never bounced back. And we're just in this best ceiling 6th, floor 16th.
Yeah.
And we're just stuck in that window. Like, think about how shit Richmond were this year. They won 2 games and literally no one cares.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, Adam Muse out. And then the conversation always ends up in, well, what can he do?
Yeah.
And then
and 4 of their best players are leaving or retiring.
Yeah. 4 of their best players are on their way out, and everyone's like, "Oh, how good's Richmond now? Like, how good now Adam Muse can actually bring in who he wants to and stuff like that." But to see a club that was so successful in Richmond, and even if they didn't win the premierships, if they're at the top of the league, you know, that's more success than we've had in the past 20 years. To then see them, you know, go from one end of the table to the other, and now they're going to just... I feel like this is the start of a slingshot back up the table.
I don't know. I think Richmond may be worse than you're giving them credit for. Like, in a worse situation.
What, you reckon they're worse than their 2-21?
Yeah. I don't know. I just wouldn't be as enthused as a Richmond fan as you seem to be about, you know, the speed of their bounce back. Like, it might be like 5 years before they, you know, win more than 3 games.
Okay, so this is what I'm enthused by. If I'm a Richmond fan, I'm coming off 8 years of success.
Yeah.
And now my team is bad.
Yeah.
You know, there's not this question, are we bad?
Yeah.
We are bad.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
So it's like, okay, cool, this is the rebuild.
But you might be bringing Essendon mindset to a Richmond fans.
No. This is all Washington Wizards mindset into every other...
It's the same thing.
Every other fan base. So yeah, I think that's quite a shared sentiment, but I've never had a chance to put that on record, and I'm happy for it to be right.
Yeah. No, because it's also like, what? Oh, we had this incredible off season, and we got these 4 great recruits who can like contribute straight away. You know, Desmond Gresham, the 2 kangaroo players. But yeah, like, do you do those moves? You only really do those moves if you think you're going to be a finals team, like, straight away, right? Like, and from watching us this season, it's like, no, okay, like, we could have just been worse and let all of our, you know, young players who are good, like, we've got lots of prospects, get more game time, spend more time developing, have a bigger role, blah, 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 blah. Instead it was like, no, we're actually just going to try and be good all year long, which I know, and that's Brad Scott's whole thing, is like, you should be trying to be good all the time. Yeah, that's basically
that culture.
Just might not be realistic.
It might not be realistic. I think it was proven to not be realistic. And like, how many times would you get to the Monday and you'd be like, if we played player X instead of player Y, it might actually have had no impact on the score.
Yeah.
And we lost out another opportunity of, you know, who's one of these players? Let's say Saad Al Hawley was healthy. Like if he got a game, all these players were injured, weren't they? All these young guys.
I think Kane Baldwin could have played.
I think he.
And we've now delisted him.
Yeah, we've now.
Because Jaden Hunter's did his ACL.
He's injured. Zach Reed's injured.
Yep.
Tex Wanganeen no longer on the team.
Yeah, but like you could have, you could have started Elijah Sardis. You could have played him in the midfield for a few games, instead of, exiling him to the wing where he just doesn't play in the VFL.
Yeah.
You could have tried playing Ben Hobbs a bit earlier in the season. You could have tried playing Nate Caddy earlier in the season as well. Like he was just so ready to go.
Was he not injured coming into the season?
I don't know, but he was playing VFL for a few weeks before, which I guess you have to do. You have to ramp up your fitness.
Yeah.
But you take my point, right?
I take your point, and I think the thing that goes hand in hand with that is that we aren't valuing the youth, and we don't value Dyson Hempel.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't value these people. Forget about the AFL player. The people, this guy that did so much for our club, we just didn't honour him with a farewell game or any sort of nice exit, and we're not respecting we're not empowering the younger players.
Yeah.
You can see when they're playing, they have not been instilled with any sort of confidence.
No,
we are playing all these mid career players.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know what the long term vision is. Is it Jaden Hunter, when you're 26, you can potentially be Peter Ryan one day.
Yeah.
I don't know what the vision is there from Brad Scott. But I think generally he's the most C coach for me.
Yeah.
Right now. And it's C on C seasons after 2-11 win seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's teams that are ahead of us, and we aren't better than any of them. There's no team that's on our day. It's no, that team's.
I think I said this at some point in the season. I was looking at, because I remember Brad Scott at North Melbourne. I do remember it being pretty dire as a North fan, but I was oh yeah, but look, he had so many winning seasons. You know, he had a winning season most of the time. That might not be a good thing,
that limitation.
Yeah.
That track record is he's coasting on these seasons that actually aren't as good as they seem.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Or he's never putting the club in a position where they can be better than a first week finals exit or a 10th position finish.
True. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you see the useless AFL stat about the Bombers?
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting.
That's great. So first team to concede the same number of points in a season as the year of that season.
Yes.
With 2,024 points conceded.
Yeah, and points for 1892, the first ever AFL season.
Really?
No. I looked it up because I thought it was. It's 1897.
1897, yeah.
Isn't that so old?
Yeah. Did we win the flag that year?
Bloody. Was it the last time we won a final?
With the bloody way they talk about it on bloody X, mate. We did. We won the premiership. But there was no final series. Oh no, there was.
Who kicked who kicked a bag?
Trying to figure it out. Oh no, they did a mini top four. Play a little round robin.
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't really like that.
So did anyone kick a goal?
The last game of the season was Essendon versus Melbourne. 1-8-14 to 0-8-8. So Edgar Croft kicked the only goal of the game.
Huge. Lara's father.
Nice. Julian Burnside's son.
Nice.
All right. Well, should we move on to dressing down the list as I've been calling it in the run up to this?
Dressing down the list. Is this the tier list?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a tier list on tiermaker.com, and it is the 2024 depth chart Essendon tier list maker, and the template was full back line, half back line, centre, half forward, full forward, followers. And we've changed those tiers to how good people were this season. Should we start from the top or the bottom?
Start from the top.
So we've got 8 tiers. Tier 1 is Zach Merritt. Mm-hmm. Tier 2 is class. Tier 3 is good. Tier 4 is we finished 11th. Tier 5 is fuckhead. Tier 6 is give him a rest. Tier 7 is fuck off. And Tier 8 is Jaden Brody. How long did you spend making your list?
Oh, I was going to do it live off the top of my dome.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you've already put them all into tiers.
I put them all into tiers.
Oh, no. We should have communicated about this.
No, okay. Well, why don't we just start? Where should we start?
Should we? Well, yeah.
Why don't we go through your tier list? You go on live, and then I'll have my, this can be the criteria, and I'm the teacher.
Right, okay.
How biased teachers are these?
I see, so you've got the rubric or whatever.
Yeah. Because I probably put 4 minutes into this, though.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to
So it'll be about the same.
Yeah. So why don't you start? I think there's
Oh, okay.
There's 9 players that don't qualify.
Because the way I was going to do it...
The NBA moves so quickly these days, it's hard to keep up. Shams and Woj are breaking stories left and right, but the Quick Time Out is right there with them to keep you informed on the latest NBA news. Stop in and let us break it down as it happens. Find the Quick Time Out on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
You want to talk WNBA? Maybe some WNBL? Australian Opals chat? Heck, even dabble in some EuroLeague? Find the W Basketball Show on the Deep 2 Podcast Network.
And we're back. God, so good that we communicated clearly how we were going to do this podcast before we started doing it, Lucas.
Ahead of time. Yes,
Ahead of time.
I agree. So yeah, let's go through the players.
Number 1, Andrew McGrath.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Andrew McGrath? Where does he fit in one of these 8 tier lists?
I think I'm going to put him in. We finished 11th.
Okay.
I still have such a soft spot for him. I think he is still a good leader. And I think he had moments this season where it's I can see how you'll fit into our best 6 in the back line. How you'll fit in. But God, he just disappoints sometimes. God, he just makes boneheaded decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
And God, he just has obviously just not lived up to his, expectation, let's say.
As number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I think he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yeah.
And when looking at the we finished 11th tier, I don't think he fits into this.
Okay.
And I think he's good. I think that's exactly what he is. I think he would be a solid contributor on a team that's above the 11th placed team.
Yeah.
And I think that he has a lot of redeeming qualities about his game. Completely fine one-on-one defender, a good hustler. The team seems to look for him in the back line to make the decision to kind of end the play. And I think he's just reliable. I think that he's, you put him with 5 good defenders and he'll be great, but you put him with 2 bad defenders, 2, defenders that have no confidence, and then one other defender and then him, then of course he's going to look a little bit worse.
I just think there was just a couple of times this season where it's I was just what the fuck are you doing? I think to be in the good tier, it's all right, if something goes wrong in a game, it either has to be an anomaly or situational. I think sometimes it was just oh my God, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, right. Okay.
But he's generally a good player.
Yeah. So the thing is, and also going off history, I think we're comparing him to himself.
Yeah.
And he has been really good for us in the past. And so it wasn't he didn't get up to that level, but I think he's still. I would still put him in the good. But we can revise this at the end.
I can appreciate that.
Who's next on your list then?
Number 2, we have Sam Draper.
Where's he for you?
I have to put him in the fuckhead tier.
He's got to be in the fuckhead.
He's got to be in the fuckhead tier.
Just sort it out. Just sort it out.
What
Put
are
it
you
together.
doing, man?
Bro, you're bigger than everyone. You obviously have the confidence. That cannot be taken away from you. That's great. You had a great hit out to Zach Merritt to set up the Sam Durham behind that won us the game against Freo. Maybe a few more hit outs to advantage.
Yeah.
Great confidence going up for the mark. You're going to be in situations where you're shooting for goal.
Yeah.
So practice your goal.
Yeah.
And that
practice your marking as well.
But that
you're good at getting up there.
Well, you got the mark at the end of the Freo game.
He did.
But
he had it. But that's it. No, sorry, you finished.
So I think the only thing that goes for him is, I think the switch to forward kind of happened mid-season, so you can't expect him to turn around his goal kicking within a season. But yeah, man, you're stellar, so be stellar.
Yeah.
And instead you are not.
Yeah.
You're playing way under.
And just way too hot and cold. Like, he had genuinely great games this season, and then he played that game against Melbourne. I think I've been thinking about it a lot. I think about that game a lot. I think because we were there, and it was really cold, and I think he single-handedly lost us the game through just being taken advantage of tactically completely. Like, they're like, oh, we're not going to put a ruck up against you, and you're going to be so tempted by that to grab it out of the ruck every single time. The Essendon are going to lose the game because you're not a good disposer of the footy. You're good to do, you love him because he'll do that once or twice a game and just crack, just completely change a possession. He'll grab it, he'll run with it a bit, he'll kick it, and you're like, oh, cool. That was not going to happen that way without him doing that. When he's trying to do it 10 times a game, it's just never going to be good.
It's never going to
It's real fuckhead behavior.
Yeah, it's real fuckhead behavior, and that's where he has landed.
That's why.
Number three,
DP3.
Yes.
Darcy Paul the third.
Darcy Paul the third.
Darcy Parish. I think I really like Darcy Parish. I'm gonna put him in good.
I thought you liked him.
Yeah.
You were very hot. You were very high on him. Your point was, our midfield looks so much worse without him. I think that's fair. When he came back, we were in the middle of that losing streak.
Yeah.
By no fault of his or that wasn't really on the midfield. I think this is. I think you know what? I actually think this is exactly how it is. How you view Andy McGrath is how I view Darcy Parish.
Okay.
So I put Darcy Parish and we finished 11th.
Yeah.
Because he's unders on what he usually is, and I just don't think there was that it just looked like he didn't get his legs under him.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like he had the most remarkable season. So yeah, I think he's one of those guys that you put him in any of the midfields ahead of us. What's he? Probably the third best midfielder.
Yeah. Well, but this is the thing, right? I don't want Darcy Parish to even be our third best midfielder going forward.
But if his idea is that he gets 34 touches, or he can get 34 touches, where do you want him to play?
Yeah. No, yeah. And it was that thing where it's you'd have the centre bouncers with I don't know, Caldwell and Stringer, or Merritt and Durham.
Merritt, Durham, Caldwell.
Yeah,
that's just I don't want anyone else.
Yeah. But then you'd have one and Parish would be in there and be like, oh, that was actually awesome. We just executed centre bounce play to perfection. Yeah. And he's just he's handballed it to the guy who's now running, running forward, which and it just happens so often that and so cleanly as well. It's we don't have to wait for this guy to develop into being good at this. He just is good at this already. True. And I do think he came back into the side in our absolute slump, and he could do absolutely nothing to drag us out of it. But I just felt I thought he was so reliable. So yes, I think it is. I think we're having Andy McGrath, Darcy Parish kind of swap seizure here.
It's what's it when they're
Freaky Friday.
Now who's number 4? Used to be Joe Watson.
Carl Langford. Fuck man. What's Jesus?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I think I have to put him in fuckhead.
Wow, okay. Because I've got him in we finished 11th.
Yeah.
I think he had the most 11th placed forward season.
Yeah.
He kicked 29 goals in the first 9 rounds or something. What did he finish?
He did.
35?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, coming off a 50-goal season? Or was it 48 or 49?
I think it was 50. I think we established this in a previous friends conversation. Oh, I have AFL tables and Wikipedia open.
Neither of them have
51 goals in 2023.
And this year?
This year he had 43. But
what?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's more than I thought.
But he did have the vast majority of them in that 8-1-2 run. He kicked 3 against Richmond, and then didn't kick one for 2 weeks, and then never kicked more than 2 for the rest of the season.
Yeah. So you've chucked him in fuckhead.
I think I'm being harsh there.
Yeah, but you're allowed to be harsh. You're allowed to be harsh.
I guess I'm frustrated. Well, he was just completely useless for the second half of the year. like I think he was genuinely useless. Like, I don't know if and I don't think it was completely his fault. Like, I think there was like a couple of factors. Peter Wright being even more useless than he was, and obviously we'll get to him. He's number 20 if you want to skip ahead. I do think that there was a thing last season where like defenders just didn't expect him to be that good.
True.
And he was just getting so many like leading marks, and just like not getting enough attention. This year, like there were 2 defenders on him in every inside 50, it seemed, which I guess is also his fault. Like, you know, run a better pattern.
I think that was also our forward entry issue.
And that was going to be my last point. Is we had terrible forward entries.
Yeah,
we did not know how to kick the ball inside 50. Yeah, except for hoofing it.
Yeah,
to a guy who's, you know, not really key forward size.
I think he had a great game against Adelaide. Unfortunately, we lost that by 2 points. So Josh Richellian codes. But I think it was the second half of the season. I can't remember another good game from him.
No.
But the first half was great, and last season was so good. And he's like, his goal. You know what? His set shot kicking was like, it was so. It would just fill you with so much confidence in the past year. Even I feel like it wasn't even just last season his set shot kicking was accurate. I feel like it's been like that for a few years now. Last year was just spread over more opportunities. But that's kind of he isn't playing like that anymore. I feel like he's gotten away from that.
I think this is a good comparison. Like he's played every game in the last 2 seasons, which like that's also credit. Like you know, as forward in playing in a very sort of physical role. He kicked 51 goals, 23 behinds last season. He kicked 43 goals, 27 behinds this season.
There you go.
So it's not like he actually didn't really have that fewer opportunities this season, and he didn't convert less of them, but he also just looked useless for like in 3 quarters out of 4. Yeah. I mean, you know, in a forward line that looked pretty useless as well. But
true.
Yeah.
Who's up next? Number 5. I couldn't tell you any of these.
Oh, really?
Who's number 5?
Number 5 is Elijah Sardis.
I was going to guess Dylan Shield, but he's number 9.
Yeah.
EJ Sardis.
God, it's so hard to put this guy in a tier because you got to play like 10 minutes every few weeks. So I think I'll put him in. We finished 11th, but like I think he'll be good. Like I think he should be in good.
I've got him in. Give him a rest. Give him a rest. Maybe we should have established what that means first. Give him a rest. Give him a rest for me. Elijah Sardis is the first example, but it's more like, what do you want the kid to do?
Right, okay.
He played 6 games as a sub.
Yeah.
You know, this is part of the... I'm going to say it like so many times this pod, but a young player not being filled with confidence. It's like, we don't trust you.
Yeah.
But like, we're going to use you in this like sparing role, and it's up to you to find a rhythm. It's not fair. Like, I understand... I would understand the logic in the NBA or, you know, a sport where... like the NBA. The NBA is a good example of like, you know, when you get your minutes, you got to make the most of them. Also, we have 3 games this week. Elijah Sardis is like, you know, is he a young guy trying to crack into a squad that's doing okay, but not great, and we're going to chuck him on the bench as a sub for 6 weeks in a row. It's like, what do you want him to do? You know, what rhythm can he find?
And then come into the game that we've already clearly won or that we're trying desperately to win, and it's like, hey man, like either you're not going to be able to do anything or we're going to expect you to do everything. I'm moving him to give him a rest now. Now they understand.
That's why
the significance of the tier.
I coloured it a different colour so I've gone from green down to red, and then give him a rest is purple.
Okay, cool. Well, that I couldn't see that actually. So.
No shit.
Nah, it just looks pink.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Which
close enough.
Equal signifier.
Number 6, Caldwell.
Jai Caldwell. Man. Class? That's the second highest one, right? Man, class and almost Zach Merritt. Like, genuinely. He was, again, like, just week in, week out, an absolute star. Like, our best player in so many games, has had so much progression, like, over the last 2 seasons, and this season just looks like fully arrived. And also, in games where we were bad, he was just trying from siren to siren.
That's what I was going to say about Caldwell. In games where we were bad, Zerrett was just stellar.
Yeah.
Siren to siren. He would use the ball cleanly. I reckon he had 5 bad kicks this year, and they're all Brisbane games.
Yeah.
And like every other time he would kick the ball, it would hit a target. Caldwell, I feel like he'd lose the polish, but he would never lose his energy.
Yeah.
And like he would be second and third efforts. I feel like that's something that's really promising with Zerrett, Caldwell, and Durham. Is that like you can't tag them because that's not their role. They're not trying to kick the ball. They're all trying to help each other.
Yeah.
So it's like they're building really good foundational steps, I feel, and just just such a good season for Caldwell, and I can't believe I think he's signed till 28.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and like he looks like he loves being there.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Yeah, for whatever fucking reason people want to play in Essendon. Man, oh god, he's just such a good tackler as well. I feel like we haven't had a mid who just absolutely crunches other mids like as regularly as he does.
Yeah, Merritt sticks his tackles, but not like.
He's a little guy.
Yeah, like Stringer once every 4 games will fucking lay something down. But Caldwell twice a game.
Yeah. So good.
Oh, well, fuck yeah. I'm happy you've inked that new deal, John. Number 7.
Number 7, Zach Merritt, the man himself.
There you go.
You really have no clue, do you?
Yeah. Well, now I can. Where are you chucking him?
Oh, I got to chuck him in Zach Merritt. Yeah.
It's got to be. What a player, man. What an unbelievable player. Our only All-Australian selection for the squad, sorry.
Yeah. For 2 years running? Or did Carl Langford get in the squad last year?
Oh, no idea. Yeah. This is the 40-player squad.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he'll make the 22?
He should, but I'm not confident.
Same. I feel the same.
Like, I do think that if he was in it, everyone would be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, also, there's so many good midfielders who finish the season on a team that, you know, was winning games.
Yeah.
So that might just, like, sway a couple of people.
Yeah, that might sway a couple of people. And, like, Paddy Cripps, I couldn't imagine picking Zach Merritt over Paddy Cripps and they finished 8th.
Yeah.
And there's 7 teams that finished 8th. So that's the only thing that gives me pause, unless he's a follower and a bet on the bench.
Yeah. I think some, I don't know who, but, you know, someone on AFL.com.au just popped him in the half forward because, you know, they wanted to get him in the team.
Yeah,
so
true.
You can do that.
Yeah.
We do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I think earlier in the season when we were good, I think I just tear up at multiple points, like just thinking about him. Being like, I can't believe this guy is on my team.
Yeah, Xavier Dersma was like, early in the season, it's like, I would run through a brick wall.
Yeah. Me too, man.
Yeah.
Me too, Ders.
Just such a joy to watch him play, and can't believe he wants to be the captain of our club.
Yeah.
He's going to be here for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Number 8?
Yep.
Ben Hobbs.
Ben Hobbs, nice. The Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one as well, because I think last season I would have had him in the good tier. But I think I'm going to put him in the give him a rest tier.
Yeah. I'm saying I'm give him a rest. Another player that just never got given the chance, and then when he did get given the chance, it was playing like he didn't want to make a mistake rather than playing fearlessly. He wasn't playing like a 21-year-old should be playing. He wasn't playing like, hey man, you got 3 seasons and I've got your back. Like none of these guys, none of our young players have that feeling about them. And I'm not going to say what I've already said again. So just fucking give him 10 games.
Yeah.
Be like, Ben, you are starting every game in March and April this year.
Yeah. And like, I thought we did last season.
Yeah,
he played 18 games last season. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so much fun to watch. And like, we really just like unleashed him at various points in the season as well. It was like, fuck yeah. Like, you know, Ben Hobbs is here. He's going to just like cause havoc. And it just didn't get the opportunity to do that this season. And yeah, just like also, I know we've got so many like inside mids, but like we managed to play them all last season.
Yeah.
In position. Like, don't put Ben Hobbs in the forward line. He doesn't know what he's doing there.
Yeah. And the bloke you want to play is Archie Perkins.
Yeah. Fuck.
Number 9, Dylan Shield.
2
first-round picks.
I think I have to put this in... No, I'm going to put Dylan Shield in good.
Yeah, I put him in good as well. You can only judge him on his games.
Yeah, and they were great. Yeah. Because I think symbolically he might be we finished 11th, as in the guy we gave 2 first-round picks and are paying $1 million a year.
Yeah.
Like, you know, is our 5th best midfielder, but like he was good.
Yeah.
And he, what was the game where he had like 10 touches? Was that what was the game we won before Freo?
I can't recall. Oh, was it Collingwood?
Yeah, Collingwood. And he had like, was it against Collingwood? He had like 10 touches in the...
Is this a good fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Man, he was closing out games for us like by himself.
Yeah, I think it was Collingwood. Like just obviously someone had a word to him or he had a word to himself at 3/4 time, and he just went absolutely ballistic in the 4th quarter and won us the game. And yeah, like again, which is also just hasn't been his MO when he's been at Essendon. He just looked like he cared more than everyone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, my memories of him is a bit of a like overpaid, swaggering, princess.
Yeah.
But just didn't have that this season. Just really, really hard, passionate player.
Yeah. So he played one game against North. Got I don't know if he got subbed on or off on that game.
I think he got subbed on.
Yeah. So had 2 touches, but then played every game from round 18 onwards. 26, 28, 21, 19 with 2 goals. 20, 24, 30, 19.
Yeah.
Those are his disposal counts.
Yeah.
And that's a good season.
Yeah.
Number 10. Not going to get it.
Sam Wiedemann.
Wow, not going to get it. Mate, you can fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm not interested.
Number 11?
Yeah. Number 11, Jade Gresham.
Yeah, so what do you reckon?
I think fuckhead.
Yeah, I've got him in fuckhead. I think there's something about fuckhead where it's just like the idea of them should be better than they should be in good. I feel like you're either in good or fuckhead.
Yeah.
You don't get to be in the finisher. You're supposed to bring in this spark and these goals. Actually, when he had a shot on goal, I felt confident.
Yeah.
But he just didn't get himself in those positions. And then like the second efforts and the forward pressure was just like so.
Yeah.
It was just so like. It's just like he didn't want to do it half the time, and he didn't.
No. I think we have this thing with small forwards where like they're never good at the things that small forwards are meant to be good at. Like it's like, Jay Gresham, look at him and he's bulky, he's small. You're like, this guy's gonna be fast. He's gonna be, he's gonna have sticky hands. Like he's gonna be a good chase down tackler. Surprisingly slow.
Never caught anyone.
Yeah, never caught anyone. Doesn't have any of that like grab and go. Like he gets the ball and he kicks a goal, but it's not like, oh my god, Jade Gresham came out of you know when Merritt I feel like he kicked like 5 or 6 of these goals this season where it was like throw in and then Merritt just has it and he's clear on goal and you're like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, genuinely.
That never happened with Jade Gresham, and I feel like that should be in your skill set if you're a small forward.
Yeah.
So like just do the things that small forwards are supposed to do next year maybe.
I would defend him on the crumbing because like I feel like that's part of our like just having no plan in a contest.
Yeah.
Like, we want the big to market, all right? The big marks at 8% of the time.
Yeah.
92% of the time, the ball's going to green.
Yeah.
And then that's where Gresham should be, like, just electric. And I feel like that is not really something that we're structured to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if we were to have a game plan that was ready for that stuff, I feel like he could star. So I wouldn't hold that against him. So he's just a nil for me.
Yeah.
But everything else is like, come on, man, we need 10% more.
Yeah.
This is a very fuckhead season.
Yeah. And like, I'm just like quickly looking at his numbers from last season to this season. Like, I've kicked less goals, laid less tackles, had less touches. Like, you moved to Essendon to like be part of like a winning system or whatever, and like you just haven't contributed to it at all. Like, you were better in St Kilda.
I think it should be. His 2025 campaign should be about corralling and crumbing.
Yeah, we like to do that.
Was he a number 11 or 12?
He was number 11.
We should speed through a couple of these.
Number 12, Will Setterfield.
Yeah. I don't really know how to judge him. I put him in fuck off, but I feel like that's pretty hard. Did he play?
No, like he couldn't really get fit enough to play seniors. So he came on. He played a few games.
4 games.
And I think he was sub in one of them maybe.
Yeah.
So I'd put him in, give him a rest, but like just because I don't feel passionately enough about passionately enough about him to tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, because I think he's a good player. I just genuinely don't think there's room for him in this team. Like,
Yeah. So wait, where did you put him?
I put him and give him a rest.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
13, Nick Cox.
Jesus Christ.
Nick Cox.
Can I give this guy fuckhead?
You can give him whatever you want.
I'm going to give him fuckhead.
Okay, we're going to have a healthy disagreement about this.
Oh, really?
He is maybe the poster boy for give him a rest for me.
Okay.
So, play him in the ruck, then we play him in the forward line, then we play him in the wing, then we play him in the back line. He came into this season having played 33 games in his career. I think he had either 1 or 2 major injuries, and we want him to be a utility. Another player that just doesn't have the backing. Like, he's just, like, there's just no, like, he's so slouchy out there. There's no confidence in him either. And, like, we put him against, I can't remember who we put him against for Gold Coast. But we played him in the back line 2 weeks in a row, and we just expected him to be ready to play in the back line. We played him in the forward line for 2 weeks, kicked 3 goals in each of those games.
Yeah.
And that's like, what do you want him to do? Kick 3 goals in each of the games, play forward. But then we just keep switching his position. He played in the fucking ruck. He had minutes all around the ground, and I just don't think that the club knows what to do with him. And I think he's just needing a role. And I think that if we gave him a season in a role, like, I feel like he's shown sparks in his first few seasons, and this is the season he had healthy. This was the season he was supposed to be good. And what do? We just completely disrupt his flow.
I think his first season with us, he was really good on the wing, and it was like, you should just keep him there. Like, that's obviously his spot. But then it didn't really work out for him. And I see him moving around as more like, how do we keep this guy on the side because he's not doing well, like, in any position. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but, like, God, I just don't think he has it in him. Like, I don't think he's quality enough. I think that I don't know where the confidence starts with, but it starts with how you're treated by the club, or it starts with you. But, like, it's not there. Like, for him to play, I guess the way that he wants to play as well. Also, man, just hit the gym. Just, like, get a little bit of muscle. Like, God. Like,
you've been in the AFL for 3 years now?
Yeah.
3? What's that? 1,000 days-ish. 3,000, 4,000 meals.
Yeah.
Probably a protein shake every
Put on
day.
5 kilos.
Yeah. You could have done it.
You could have
done it by now.
Just because there's just you can't be that size and have just, like, nothing in the contest at all. I know. Yeah, like, it's like that unicorn thing. It's like, he's gonna be he's 6 foot whatever, but he can run and he can play the ground ball, blah blah. It's like, well, like, do that or put on a bit of muscle.
Yeah.
Like,
But also, like, I remember when we played him early season on the wing, one of our strategies was just when he was one-on-one, kick it to him, he marked it every single time. And it completely set us up to have a forward entry. Our forward entries are probably one of our 2 biggest issues, forward entries and defensive transition. But it at least set us up to have a good forward entry.
Yeah.
And that's just gone. I remember Kenny Smith, a famous NBA analyst, said that a coach can't give you confidence, but they can take it away.
Yeah.
And everyone that seemed to resonate with a lot of the people, professional athletes that he was talking to. So maybe that's the case here.
Yeah. I think that's definitely part of it. I think he was just a bit rubbish.
Yeah, that's fair. 14, that's Jordan Ridley.
Jordan Ridley, like, good, but are we judging? But just purely based on the player he is, not on the season that he had.
Yeah, I've gone on season they had.
Okay. Fuck, might be we finished 11th.
Yeah, we finished 11th for me.
Yeah.
He had 9 games. He had 1 good game we were talking about with housemate of the show, Richard, before. And then, 8 pretty, we finished 11th games.
Yeah.
But again, like, he came in the middle of the season as we were on our down tick, and he was playing in the back line where the ball was always was.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of good flashes, but I'm not going to hold this against him.
No, not at all. I think there was like no chemistry between him and Ben Mackay.
Nothing.
Seemed like the biggest issue, which it was almost like both Ben Mackay was better before Ridley came back as well. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be like, like he came in and disrupted our whole backline. I think it was just purely that partnership. It was like neither of them knew what they were supposed to be doing with each other.
Yeah.
And what game was it? Oh yeah, like against Carlton. Yeah, when it was like, oh, we had Ridley on Kerno and Mackay on Mackay, and it's like, well, now nobody can do anything in the back line.
Yeah.
Like, now we have no, like, effective AFL players over the height of 5'10" in the back line.
Yeah.
So, and then, then we'd like try switching Laverty onto Kerno, and it's like, nah, it's too late. Like, we've lost the game now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like, he's a good footy player. Like, he will be good next year as long as he's fit.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he looks like next to Reid and Mackay.
Yeah, I think that'll be it. That'll be like, okay, well, like, two. If there are two great forwards, two of you can play lockdown, and another one of you can actually, get the ball out of the back line. Yeah.
Yeah. 15. That would be
Jaden Laverty.
Jaden Laverty.
Jaden Laverty.
Jaden Laverty. Where do you have him?
Jaden Laverty.
Yeah. Man, fuck, man. I've been so hard on him for so long. This is like maybe the one time I don't want to be hard on him, but in the era when no forwards kicking more than 3 goals, he's letting in 4. Week in, week out. It's just like, I don't know. He doesn't really have any. He doesn't bring much to the table other than one-on-one defending, and he wasn't a good one-on-one defender, so it's like, well, yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah, you're just so bad. You're just genuinely so bad.
Oh, God.
I couldn't, and he got worse this year as well. Like, I think earlier in the season, it's like, all right, like, you're it's fine. Like, this is fine. We can cope with this. He must have given away just like a record number of goals in the last 6 games of the season.
Yeah.
It felt like he was giving away a free inside 50, or like just tripping over himself like every quarter for 6 games straight.
Yeah.
And it's awful to watch.
Friend of the show, Will, a big Bombers fan, great footy player, and a very fair footy fan as well. Said he's had like a few big tasks, but he's usually had the third, forward, and everyone else who seems to be taken to third forward seems to be doing a better job.
Yeah.
So amongst his contemporaries, which is 3rd or 4th best backman on the team, he's around 18th in the league.
You kind of said this, and I can't think of any specific examples right now, but like often it would be like, oh nah, like Laverty, he had to defend so and so. They kicked 3 goals, and it's like, yeah, but they weren't the best forward on the team until Laverty went on them. Yeah, like, he played them into form.
Yeah. Oh, they kicked 3 goals, he kicked 4 goals. Both of those numbers above their average.
Yeah.
Archie Perkins, mate, you gotta fuck off.
You fuck off for Archie Perkins?
Fuck off for Archie Perkins.
Damn.
And it's almost not even his fault. It's almost fuck off in the sense that if you're not on the team, Scott can't pick you.
Yeah.
And like you're 22, you're still young. You gotta you've had some great games and some great seasons. But like we've also got some other young players that need to get bled, and like we've spoken about Sardis and Hobbs who aren't getting a look in, or they get like the most like anti opportunity. And I just don't think that there's like I don't know what this has to be his ceiling or close to it.
Yeah.
Like how much better are you getting? How many games is he at? 60?
80 games.
80 games,
80.
man.
Yeah.
80 games, and like if this is all we've seen,
And you maybe got worse. Like this was his worst goal kicking season of his career. Like he then also didn't really get to play a full midfield role like he has in the past. So it was like, what are you doing? Like, what's like, you're not really excelling at any of the things you're supposed to excel at.
Yeah.
At the moment. And then fucking like, God, it's got to be the most egregious of all is like he played 2 good VFL games, and then Brad Scott brings you in to play the team on the top of the ladder who we have to win, who we have to beat and then win the next week to make finals. And to make way for you've played so badly all year and then played 2 good games against fucking the Northern Bull Ants. You drop Dyson Heppel.
Fucking egregious by Brad Scott. Truly disgusting.
That's the player you brought in.
You know what? That's the issue with our club. That last two sentences. Also, how many hundreds of touches does Sardis need to get in the VF?
Yeah. And they don't bring him in for Heppel. They bring Archie Perkins in.
Yeah.
Man, what photos have you got of the Scots, man? Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. 17. Who's 17?
Todd Goldstein.
Yeah. I've got to give him a rest for like the opposite. It's just like he just can't go anymore.
Yeah, I don't want him to play.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to fuck off either.
Yeah. I honestly think he would have been in good.
Yeah.
If he was able to play a whole season at the quality he had played, he was unbelievable. He was clinical in the ruck.
Yeah.
He would find a target, he would take away the space, he was like great, and then like middle of the third quarter, so 2.5 quarters into the game, he was done.
Yeah.
He was completely toast.
Yeah.
So give him a rest in the complete opposite, because he's not fuckhead, he's not fuck off.
No.
He's not Jaden Laverde.
No.
And he's he added value to the team.
Yeah, but you can't say he's good because...
because he played one game.
And just also like emblematic of the lack of sense of direction in the club, in that it's like, okay, well, we're going with Sam Draper as our ruck, but he can't play a full game of ruck, so we'll bring in another guy who can't play a full game of ruck, and then hopefully that like by playing half a game in the ruck each, they'll get in enough rhythm and form that they're both good ruckmen. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, are you listening to yourself?
I would like to know what Todd Goldstein's win-loss record for the season.
I reckon, I can get it up for you pretty easily.
I can't figure it out.
It was, oh my god, it was probably by far the best.
What is it?
815.
Wow. Christ almighty.
Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because, we played him...
And he would have probably finished on a 3-game losing streak.
No, because he didn't play. He did.
His active
Yeah. No, yeah. Well, you would have had to. That's right, because we didn't fly. We flew him up to the Gold Coast, and we rested him at the last minute because they were resting Wits. Then we played him against Carlton because we were like, we're going to get absolutely fucked by their bigs if we don't. And we got fucked by their bigs anyway. And then, he played 2 more games after that. Because he looked like, I think from that Richmond game onwards, it was like, that guy's done. Like, he's done for the year. Like,
you want to know something crazy? He led us in hitouts.
Wow.
He led the team in hitouts.
I'm not super surprised.
He played 2 less games than Draper and had 40 more hitouts. He played 2 less games than Draper and had 2 good games more than him in the ruck.
Wow.
Number 18.
18 is Nick Hine. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, it's Lewis Hayes.
Yeah, didn't play, so inactive.
Yeah.
Nick Hine, number 19. Well, the club's fucked him off.
Yeah.
I had him when we finished 11th.
Yeah, I think that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
I really like Nick Hine. I just have a huge soft spot for him.
Yeah.
But like, it was a combination of not playing consistently enough and not being given the opportunity enough to like impact us winning any games.
Yeah.
He had a couple of times when he came on, it's like, fuck, Nick Hine's our best player.
Yeah, genuinely. He had that. I think he had maybe a 3 or 4 game stretch that lined up with Jai Menzies. Is it Jai Menzies or Menzies?
Jai Menzies, yeah.
That lined up with Jai Menzies putting in all of his effort. And it was a very unlikely duo to like kind of drive the energy of the team.
Yeah.
But in what Hine was doing in terms of moving the ball around, Menzies was doing in like, second efforts and third efforts. It was never really with or without the ball for Jai Menzies. No, it was always without the ball.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Hine had great flashes, but he's definitely a 20-game player on a team that is an 11th seed.
Yeah, and maybe that's emblematic of we finished 11th as well as like, Nick Hine kind of played well, but like he never got to play more than that.
Yeah,
that was the
play more than that.
Number 20, Peter Wright.
Yeah, Peter.
Jesus. I'm borderline with this guy. I'm fuckhead for the moment.
Yeah, I'm fuckhead.
Yeah. But like, I'm so close to being done with him.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
I want to be there. Yeah. I want to be there with him, but it's just like, fuck, man. What are you doing, man? Mark, kick, goal. Mark or goal or hit out. But like, do one of them.
Yeah.
You burst into these packs and you take people out, but it's just like, that's all you're doing is just like entering a pack like a pure bastard person. And yeah, like what was great about you in seasons past, you were always kind of up and down in terms of your goal kicking, but you were always making an impact and your presence was felt, and that was just not there this season.
No, not at all. Even he only played 10 games last year, but you're right. Like when he came back, it's like, fuck yeah, Peter Wright's back. Even when he wasn't kicking bags, it's like, yes, we got him back. This year it's like, oh my god, that's our only option up forward. Like, I think he boils down to like more than anything, just played badly. Like there was no like, I don't know if there was like a structural issue or anything that can describe him, except just like you just had a really bad season.
Yeah, genuinely. Yeah, well, we can do that in the podcast.
Yeah, and yeah, like I don't know, is his confidence just gone now, or like can he bounce back next year? I don't know.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Number 21, absolute champion of the club.
Dyson Heppel.
For my placeholder, I just had him in Zach Merritt.
Yeah.
Because I was like, before I make a decision, where are you chucking him?
I think I have to put him in.
Fuck me! Jesus Christ!
Did the Donald bite you?
Yeah, cat attack, guys.
Essendon. I just feels disrespectful to put him in. We finished 11th.
Yeah,
but I think I have to.
Yeah, he's got to be. He averaged the 10th most disposals for the club.
That sounds about right.
Makes sense, doesn't it? What a good guy this guy was, man. Did so much for the team, for the club. But you know what? He wasn't good. You couldn't say he was good this season.
No.
And he was right on. Yeah, he was right in that middle tier. His departure for his last few months of the last 2 weeks at the club were well chronicled.
Yeah.
A lot of outrage, a lot of people upset. Legitimately no one happy.
No. Like, either way.
Yeah. This was hyper criticised. Probably Brad Scott's biggest fuck up of the season, I would say. Yeah. But, dude, thanks for everything you did for us. Yeah. Thank you for being the captain. Coming out of the drug scandal, they nearly advertised the job on Seek, Essendon captain. It got that bad. And he was just like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he was so like, you never looked at him and were like, oh, that's the captain of a club that's coming out of drug scandal. You're like, that guy loves his footy club.
Yeah, 100%. Even this year, where it's like, oh, you're not impacting winning, you're not good. Like, he's a locker room leader. Like, I don't think Merritt would be like the captain he is without him. Like, kind of waiting in the wings as well. And then also, like, he never dropped his head. Like, man, Essendon players love dropping their heads.
Yeah.
Not Dyson Heppel. Maybe you could have instilled it in them a little bit more, during your career. But, like, I can't fault him for anything that went wrong this season. Like, he's old and injured and, not the player that he once was, and probably just being asked to play wherever as well. Like, filling gaps, and you just shouldn't be filling gaps with that player. Yeah.
But a leader when the club needed it, like when the players needed it.
100%.
Something I love that he would do this season is that he always seemed to find Elwyn Davey Jr.
Yeah.
Like he always seemed to find him and give him half of the touches he had this season.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like bringing him along. And then the other dynamic I loved is when he'd find Andy McGrath.
Yeah.
It's like Elwyn Davey Jr. is like trying to bring him along, and then Andy McGrath is like, he's already been unleashed.
Yeah.
Like he's like his successful project in Andy McGrath, and he'd find him, and McGrath fucking bursts out like the halfback and then hit a target or something. But
hit a target or something, whatever it was.
But it was just like all these players that he's ushered along.
Yeah, that's nice. It's you know that photo, and it's like Splinter with the little baby Ninja Turtles, and then they're a bit taller than him. It's actually exactly like that.
It is. I'm thinking of the AD version. Number 22. I reckon I know who this is.
Yeah. You know who this is.
I was gonna say Josh Kelly from the Giants.
It's Sam Durham, baby.
Oh, it's fucking does. Well, where is he for you?
Class, baby.
Yeah, it has to be.
God, what a season from this guy.
Yeah.
God, again, Jai Caldwell, solid, amazing, great, put in the effort. Sam Durham just made me smile more than almost anyone else this AFL season.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this kid can just play footy.
Yeah. So gutsy, man. So fucking gutsy. Fearless. He kind of petered off the last maybe 6 rounds, but like that. But like he's getting his legs under him, and I think next season he'll be a pace above the league for the length of the season. Was better with the ball this year. Bombed the ball into the forward line a bit, but that seems to be the plan for the team half the time. But just everything got that little bit better. Or actually, quite noticeably better.
Yeah.
And I would assume he's on an exponential path. Like I couldn't see him having anything but a much better season next year as well.
Yeah, 100%. Just so nice having a player who has I guess it's like having a move in the NBA. Like he's got a bag. Like that run out of the middle. Just looked so unstoppable so many times this season. If he can add I think if he can add a goal a game, he's one of the best mids in the competition.
If he can add
very quickly
a goal a game, he will be the 3rd highest goal kicker on our team. I couldn't say enough about this guy. He's so good.
His contested mark this season as well. It's I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
And then final thing, he's got the coveted 50% kicks, 50% handballs disposal ratio. Yeah, 235, 235.
Wow, this is the first time in a single season it's been 235. Number 23, I know who this is.
Harry Jones.
Jungle.
I think fuckhead.
Yeah, right.
I think fuckhead, yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. I've got him in we finished 11th.
Yeah.
I think he was pretty fine all season, and I think that we finished 11th is, where you put a pretty fine player. I feel like he didn't make any egregious mistakes, and I don't know. It just seems like he can be a solid contributor in the future.
I think so. But it was almost like when he had redeemed himself, which I think he did over the first 6 weeks of the season. It was oh fuck yeah, Harry Jones is finally coming good. He's finally doing all of this heads up stuff. He just didn't manage to recapture it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then he got moved to the wing, and it was okay, maybe this is him. And it was it doesn't matter because we're losing every game and he's not having an impact. And then in the last 2 games of the season, he started doing some of the old Harry Jones shit, bombing it, trying to clear our inside, trying to clear our defensive 50 and just chest mark for an opposition forward. He's still just so prone to that stuff. I think if he had it, it's almost like if he just played like this all year, I would have him in we finished 11th. But because he looked like the player we'd been promised for the first few weeks, that's why I've got him in fuckhead.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I feel just, Harry, if you're listening, just please make your decisions a bit quicker.
Yeah.
After you've taken a really good mark, just turn and you've never found a target.
Yeah.
By waiting.
It never helps.
You've always gone down the line.
Yeah.
All you've done is waited for the D to set, so just go down the line earlier.
Yeah.
24, I know who this is as well.
Nick Bryan, the
ruckman of the future.
I almost want to just put him straight into good.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I've got him in we finished.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, just inexperience.
Yeah.
He seems like he will be a completely serviceable and good ruckman in the AFL.
Yeah.
And I feel like what did he play? 5 games? 6 games?
5 games, yep.
His 5 games.
1-4 in those games.
His 5 games, I don't reckon Draper had a better game in the ruck. Maybe had 1 or 2 games as good as Brian's, just purely in terms of rucking. Draper would have had 1 or 2 games as good as Nick Bryan.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with that. And I think that's what's almost so what's so frustrating is we've gone this kind of 2 ruck list experiment, and it's well, they could just be a perfectly serviceable guy here.
We could have Alright.
Yeah. We can just have a guy who can just play an entire game in the ruck and have like our key forward, like, you know, pinch hit for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine. Like he seems to have the legs for it, like despite, you know, age and inexperience. And yeah, he's just serviceable. And like if you're not gonna go for some game breaker, like just get a serviceable ruck and get them touches and get them to be a confident, experienced player. Like don't let someone like that just rot away in the VFL.
Yeah. 25.
Jake Stringer. I got Jake Stringer and fuck off. I'm done. I'm fully done with Jake Stringer. I'm out.
Okay.
I'm out.
Not even in a contract year Batum sort of way.
Well, wasn't it his contract year this year?
It was.
Where was contract year Stringer?
Yeah, that's fair. I have him in fuckhead just because he's better than the players I have in fuck off.
Yeah.
Like still had what, 30 goals?
42.
Fuck, that's a good amount of goals.
Again, though, kicked the vast majority of them in the first 11 games of the season. Yeah.
But yeah, fuckhead just in terms of like the volatility and just like, I think this is the first time at the end of a contract year where he hasn't been playing for the contract in the sense that like I don't think he wants to be here anymore. So yeah, fuckhead, fuck off. What's the difference?
Yeah. I'm just sick of the Jake Stringer experience. I think that's it. Yeah.
Number 26, is that Kane Baldwin? And that's one of the names I know.
Yeah.
Numbers I know. Didn't play, so can't really say anything about him. We delisted him, and it feels like it's a mistake because we're doing it. Any other club. Number 27, Mason Redmond. I know my 20s.
Yeah. This is another tricky one for me.
Yeah.
I think we finished 11th for Mason Redmond. I still think he's a really good player and the sort of player that we need. And I think he had a down year.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to like absolve him of all wrongdoings either, because like there were clear issues with having him out there sometimes.
I think I'm also happy to put it down as a down year. I would also say we finished 11th. I feel like I feel the same way about him that I do about Ridley. Yeah. Like if they play poorly next season, then I'll be like pretty mad.
Yeah.
But even like the Gold Coast game at Marvel, I feel like Redmond had a pretty shaky first half or first quarter, and he just turned it around. Yeah. It's like, oh, awesome! You like, where did that come from? You know, like it's so easy to just like go into your shell and have a bad game after that, and then he was just like, no, I'm gonna fucking take the game on. Fuck you all. Yeah. So it was nice to see some good games from him. But it's got to be we finished 11th.
Yeah, 100%.
28. Oh, Xavier Dersman.
Nice,
bro.
You're doing well here.
Class.
You put him in class.
100%.
Wow.
Bro. He could be maybe above good and below class. Yeah. In a tweener tier. Yeah. But I think he's better than who I have in good. I think he's fucking so good. Yeah. Him on that wing is like unbelievable. His set shot shooting is great.
Incredible. Do you want to know something?
I'd love to know something.
Didn't kick it behind this year.
How many
9 goals straight.
Wow, there you go. It would have been 12 if you didn't get injured. But like when he got injured, our team crumbled. Yeah. Like there was no one that could come in and fill that wing role. Yeah. He was just fucking unbelievable. Like I don't know. He played his role so well. He played it exceptionally. We brought him in to play this specific role. We couldn't fulfill his role after he went out. That's class to me.
Yeah. You're convincing me. I can't really add anything. He was just so solid every time he played. I think also like just doing a little bit more than you sort of expect a winger to do as well. Like good pressure, on both sides of the ball, just kicking goals when you needed him to as well. He's such a good size for a winger as well. He's that nice like in between.
And he's got a bit of beef to him.
Yeah.
He's not an absolute string beaner.
No. Yeah. He's kind of like what we wanted Nick Cox to be, but not as tall. But do those things. Like do what Dersman's doing.
Also outrun people.
Yeah.
Like on top of all of that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Since like 2015, we haven't had any like beefy guys.
Yeah. Nah, I rate Ders.
Something in that. Number 29, Jake Kelly. Is it?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck off. Cunt.
I'm putting him in Jaden Laverty.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
rough. What? And for what reason?
He's so bad. He's as bad as him.
Yeah.
I think I said this earlier in the season. You brought this up in a couple of conversations we had with other people, where I said the thing about Jake Kelly is you need to have a 20-second best player.
yeah, you did love saying that.
And I feel the same way. Just now it's derogatory.
Yeah.
Like you were just genuinely the worst player on the field in most games.
Yeah.
I don't think he was sort of as devastating for our results as Laverty was.
Yeah, true.
But it was also, I just don't see you do anything good. Like,
Yeah.
I think Laverty did some positive footballing things from time to time. They were just so vastly outweighed by the number of goals he conceded.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just like Jake Kelly, I'm just like, I don't like you think he's done something good, and then it will turn out to be like, you know, a good handball to a teammate under pressure, or like
Oh my god, man! Oh my fucking god! How many times?
like it'll leave his hand and you'll be like, oh yeah, and then like, oh no, that's bad.
Oh my god! Like once or twice a game,
Yeah.
it almost always led to an. Oh, I fucking would say always led to an opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such a good point.
Or like, yeah, clearing kick, and you're like, oh yeah, that's good. And it's like, oh no, it's just like completely fucked the flow of our game. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I've got him in a fuck off. I just can't put it in. 30. I mean, fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Best could goat.
Nate Caddy, baby.
Where have you got him?
Well, I'm gonna put him in good.
Yeah, I got him in good.
I'm almost inspired by your class pick for Dersma, but nah, he didn't.
Wait, where did you land on Durs? You don't have to put him in.
Nah, I'm gonna put him in good. I'm gonna put him in good. I have in my mind who the class players are, and I think I've said them all already.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Oh, actually.
Yeah. I know who the other is.
Yeah, like if Nate Caddy had produced a bit more, he would, like, just a tiny little bit more, he would instantly be in class.
You reckon?
Like, well, look, he kicked 9-11 this season. Shout out. If he'd kicked 15-5, it would be like, oh my god, this kid's the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah. He is such a target.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't see him go to ground once. He kept his feet. He did that thing Mac Andrew does. Is it Mac Andrew or Mac Andrews?
Mac Andrew, yeah.
Mac Andrew. Why am I doing Northlands but with people's
It's funny.
names? He did that thing Mac Andrew does where he wins the contest even if that doesn't mean marking the ball, but then keeps his feet. The only thing is Mac Andrew does the next step, which is win the ball on the crumb.
Yeah.
I feel like Caddy can definitely add that to his game.
Yeah.
But like, just unrattled, and like he's a touch below the speed, and he's coming up against 2 or 3 defenders. Imagine him. He's fucking 19. He's been 19 for 2 months.
Yeah.
So like next season when he stops being a teenager, and then a couple of years after that, imagine him at 22.
Yeah.
This is what he's doing at 18. 18 is when he started. If this is what he was doing at 18, like it's just like it's such a structural point for our team to like build a game plan around, and it's like he's easily good.
Yeah. And like, I don't think I've seen an Essendon player like at that age with the game sense he has, maybe like ever.
That's it.
Like he came when we were watching him against trying to think what game it was, but like one of his early games, it was just like, oh my god, this guy knows everything that's going on. Like he just immediately knows the best thing to do in every single situation, whether that's like, you know, like how you attack the footy or how you use the footy or like where your teammates are or anything like that. He's just so aware of everything, which is just like so hard to do when you're 18 years old. And yeah, like he put himself in so many good positions. Like if he'd kicked a little bit straighter, I think everyone would just be like, oh my god, this is one of the best young forwards in the AFL, like straight off the bat.
Yeah, easy. All right, number 31.
31, Zach Reed.
Can't tell.
Got injured several minutes into our first game of the season.
So shit, man. Can't wait to see him healthy.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to see it sooner rather than later. 32.
Big Ben Mackay. Big Ben Mackay. Man. This guy might
He's a fuckhead. Go on, what are you...
He might have straddled every single tier this year at various points.
within a quarter.
Yeah. Which makes you a fuckhead naturally. If you can't decide how good of a footy player you're gonna be, you're a fuckhead. But like at the beginning of the season, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe we got this guy. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like when our backline's at full strength, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
And then he was just genuinely like he just looked clueless for the last 12 games of the season.
Yeah.
He just looked like he had no idea what he's doing, which is crazy because he's like a veteran, lauded key defender in the AFL.
Yeah. It seemed like he didn't really want to play the last like 12 rounds, which maybe is a cause for concern moving forward. But he was stellar in the first, in the 8-1-2 start in the first 11 games. Look, I fucking love the contract we have him on. Everyone's saying he's the most expensive player in the AFL. He's on like the most ridiculously front-loaded contract. I think he goes from like highest paid to like 20th highest paid.
Yeah, right.
And then like, I don't know, it's very favourable from years 3 onwards. And, you know, we're not really spending the money elsewhere.
No.
So it's like it's a completely fine contract. So anyone that's critical of that, just know I've got this guy in fuckhead and I still think it's
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, like, no, I'm really glad we have him. Let's just hope it's different next year. And look, let's just hope it's an Essendon issue, not a Ben Mackay issue.
I know, that's what it kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
It's just like his carry-on, man.
Yeah.
His carry-on made it seem like it was a Ben Mackay issue.
Yeah.
33.
I
feel like that's a play that...
Alan Davey Jr.
Yeah.
Give him a rest, I guess.
Fuck off.
You're giving him fuck off.
Yeah, he got
actually, you know what? He got
games.
so much opportunity. He's the only young player who got opportunity.
Yeah, but he might be fuck off, not in a get off the team sense, in like a let's just not pick him for a couple of years. Because he's clearly not there.
Yeah.
Like he's just not even close to being there yet.
No.
10 games, man.
Yeah.
10 games. Fuck, man. 10 games, 60 touches.
I was having an awful thought before that, Brad Scott was like, all right, no, you have to give young players some time. I'll let Alan Davey Jr., I'll see how he develops. And then he's like, all right, that didn't work out. I'm not going to ever give another young player time again.
Yeah. 16 tackles as well in his 10 games as a pressure forward.
Oh my God.
Pretty
awful. Did he have I feel like he had a game where he had,
for reference, Jay Gresham averaged more tackles per game.
Yeah. What was it? Maybe it was that Sydney game. Yeah, it was like, he came on as a sub. There was just a game where it was like, you just like didn't even get near the ball. Like,
man, he had the third least total touches of players that played.
And one of those players is Zach Reed.
Well, Zach Reed and Sam Wiedemann, who played one game each. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 players that played less than him.
Yeah.
And all of them got more touches than him.
That's hilarious. Jesus, mate.
34?
34 is Luamon Lual. So, don't know. I actually don't even know anything about this.
No idea. He's 19, so I like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can grow into something. 35?
35? Wow. Matt Guelphy.
Number 1 sandwich holder at Nico's.
I think we finished 11th for him because there wasn't enough of this season for me to be like, he's bad, but like he was just also a non-factor.
I would say he was like between good and non-factor.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd have pretty impactful moments.
Yeah.
It was cute when he painted his nails and then kicked 2 goals.
So epic.
And that whole video and that storyline was just so sweet.
That's when we were, 8-1 and 1 as well. So
15 goal season.
7-1 2.
15 goal season in 13 games, is it?
Yeah.
He's like the only double-digit scorer that played less than 14 games. Me and my buddies were talking about that the other day.
The Matt Guelphy zone, they call it.
I think I like Matt Guelphy.
Yeah.
I think that I'm glad that he's on the team. I hope he stays with us for years to come. I'm enjoying him as this either 6th forward or relief forward. Is that something we need to be considering?
No. It's just the wind, man.
Right.
Must have been the wind.
I'm a big Matt Guelphy fan. But on the season, you have to see the
Yeah,
finish 11.
yeah, same. Like I just don't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's not the culprit here.
Yeah.
But like also, I mean that's it. Like you just have players on your team who aren't gonna win you. You know who and I mean, actually he did. Actually, you know, he kicked 3 goals in a couple of games. But what I'm trying to say is like he didn't have that much impact on us, and that's okay.
Yeah. Number 36.
Jaden Davey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh no, not Jaden Hunter.
Not our what is seatmate.
Yeah. Jaden Davey didn't see ya.
Yeah, sorry mate.
So see you. 37.
Nick Martin.
Come on.
Best masso in the league, mate.
Best master in the league, best Nick in the league.
Yeah.
Give it a man. Nick, give it up. Where are you going?
I'm gonna put him in class, I think.
Yeah, I've got him in class.
I think there was just too much. It was just too much of that fucking bullshit of like, oh, he's the worst field kick in the AFL. I'm Kane Corns, and not enough of like, look at what he's doing.
I've had a few disagreements with people on Nick Martin. Like what? How many games did he have bad? Like he might have like a shank or two a game.
Yeah.
In what's he averaging? 28 touches. He's leading the team in disposals. His forward line entry was one of the only players that seemed like he had an idea going to the forward line. Late in the season, he found himself in the forward line. He kicked so many clutch goals.
Yeah.
He's really good with the ball. Like he's really, really, really good with the ball.
Yeah.
He was taking the kickouts, and he did a completely unremarkable in the best way possible job in the kickouts. He's just really good at footy, and also he's adding to his game. I feel every year. And he's just on his upward trajectory, and he doesn't seem like he's slowing down. He seems very steady. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and like I think the most important thing is like there'll be a role for him, like in that sort of ball dominant. Like we can play him on the forward or we can play him off the halfback, and he'll be fine. Like he'll find a way to impact the game. I wonder. Do you think we should play him forward more next season?
Yeah. I think we need to.
He's got such a good nose for goal. Like
great nose for goal. Yeah, forward line entry, cool under pressure. And when he gets caught, it's not like what are you fucking doing? It's like I can see. I can do, that one's fine.
Yeah.
We can deal with a couple of those from you a season. I can't deal with the Jake Kelly ones.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, yeah. Oh, like the Jake Stringer, like just get rid of the ball and don't give away a free kick. Even that was the one bad thing Durham did this season is he loved getting hold of the ball calls. Like he just loved it. Legend, by the way.
38. Is that Jaden Hunter?
That's Archie Roberts.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Legend.
Where do you have him?
Can I be honest with you?
Go.
I watched so little of the 4 games that he played because I had a social event on every single one of them. I mean, we lost 3 of them as well.
You missed on the Archie Roberts show, but you didn't miss on the Essendon. I had him in Give Him a Rest because I made this tier before Saturday. I'm almost happy to just put him in good. Yeah. Like, especially at 19. Yeah. You speak of that game sense and like just what he's doing with the footy. I'm actually happy to put him in good. Like, that's crazy because of the players I'm putting him above. But like, fuck man, 4 games into his career, if he's already looking like this on the footy field, I'm very, very excited, and I'm gonna put him in good.
I don't think that's crazy because there are so many players who it's like, well, this is the player you are, and this is how you're acting. He's however many years old, and he's already confident. Yeah, good game sense, and like I think same thing as I was saying about Nick Martin. Like we know where to play him, and like we know how to play him. So like I don't think that's crazy at all. I think those are the players who are good. They're the ones who are like are already fitting into your team and having a positive impact on
True. Yeah. Because I think this goes to show how poor we've been this season. Yeah. 3 of my 4 players in good are Dylan Shield, Nate Caddy, and Archie Roberts. Dylan Shield, and like my whole argument is you can only judge them on what you've seen. Yeah. And they've been completely good. Yeah. They've been good in all of their games. Yeah. Who I know there's at least one more player.
There's one more player who played. Yeah. We can go through the rest anyway. Number 39, Vigo Vicentini.
Yeah, shout out.
No idea. I fully like this. It looks like he could be made up. key forward with the name Vigo.
Yeah. I don't know about this.
Number 40, Tex Wanganeen, didn't play and delisted.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Number 41, Saad El Hawley. Yeah, I mean, I honestly thought he could have played like 8 weeks ago.
Yeah,
like,
he got injured though.
Oh, did he get injured?
When we drafted him, he got injured. Like that week, I think.
But he was playing in the VFL a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah. By the end of the season, I'm pretty sure. And also for the Preston, for the Northern Bullets.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
I got a mate who plays at the Northern Bullets.
Yeah.
And he reckons that Saad El Hawley is a bit of an Adam Saad.
Yeah, right.
A bit of an Adam Saad. Less, not as good.
Yeah.
But like, we'll break the lines, but then make a few plays that just completely get you pretty angry.
Right. Okay.
One of his teammates who would probably experience this on the footy field.
Yeah. Cool. I'm into that. I'm fine with that. Number 47, Jai Menzie.
What do you have to say about Jai Menzie?
Fuck off, Jai Menzie.
Yeah. Well, I've got him in give him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my
but
god.
But I'm more than happy to put him in fuck. Only point for give him a rest. Actually, nah. Fuck off. I'm moving him. He again another player that you had your chances.
Yeah.
You had a lot of them as well.
Yeah. So many. This is just a ridiculous number of chances.
And last season as well.
Yeah.
Where is he? Find me him. 14 games.
Yeah. None of them good. 5 wins, 9 losses. That's probably one of the worst ratios there as well.
That's nearly all of our losses.
And yeah, just can't really remember him doing anything good at any point in the season.
Yeah. And second efforts. 3 games in a row of second efforts was his highlight.
And yeah, maybe like you were saying earlier, put him in the fuck off tier, and then Brad Scott can't pick him.
Yeah.
He'll be forced to pick someone else.
Marco, that was an absolute slog of
I can keep going, man.
of a segment, not even just a pod.
Well, you've got number 49, Jaden Hunter. ACL, inactive.
I'm almost ready to put this guy in the Zach Merritt. Just for having to deal with listening to us.
Oh man, we should talk about that.
Yeah,
that's funny. The St Kilda game, we're in a big group of Essendon fans and 2 St Kilda fans as well.
Yeah.
And maybe at the beginning of the third, Jaden Hunter, aforementioned injured young key forward for the Essendon Bombers, and his friends came and sat a row directly behind us.
Like the seats behind us.
Yeah, literally right behind us. And just proceeded to get the worst spray of the club from the Petridis brothers I've ever seen in my entire life.
They were selling full strength beers. I actually don't fully. I remember being quite, as you said, theatrical. I remember just carrying on.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are we doing here? What is this bloody?" But I don't remember exactly what I said.
Yeah, you weren't. It wasn't so much what you were saying; it's more how you were saying. Like you come up with a thought and then you point to every single person you were with and repeat it to them.
Yeah, I remember going down the line and saying, "Hey, X, we're down by 53 points.
Yeah.
Can you get the next?" And then going and just doing that down the line. That was fine.
And poor number 49, Jaden Hunter, had to leave early.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was our fault. I think we should actually finish this episode.
Yeah.
And do. We'll have to do an AFLW.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe it would be better to do that after seeing a couple of games.
Yeah, 100%. Or even if we go to the game on Saturday.
I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going with. Oh, would you like to come? It's my mother's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, I got my membership today.
Oh my god, the day before Father's Day. How selfish of her.
Oh my god, my mother is Greek, which means she has at least 2 birthdays, and they are the 31st of August and the 1st of September. They would get born on a day. And do the paperwork until the next day.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Any just like what are your hopes, or like what are you looking forward to just for round 1?
For the AFLW, I think we're just like a very competitive team.
Yeah.
And I think like that was kind of the fun thing about last season. It's like actually feel like we could win any game we play, even though we're not really supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, the 4 best teams in the AFLW are like so much better than everyone else.
Yeah.
But like we've very quickly put ourselves in a position, you know, to like show up in big games. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Matty Press-Barker is just one of the best players in the competition. But then I was having this freaking awful moment the other day. I was listening to the Credit to the Girls podcast. Have you ever listened to it? It's really good. I'd recommend.
I feel like I've heard of it.
I'd recommend listening to their AFLW season previews because there's just so many players on teams that I don't know, and they just like do a good 15-minute breakdown of every team, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I know where this team is at and like who their important ins and outs and like watches for next season are. And they were talking about Essendon, and they were like, yeah, I think their problem last season was like they could just never like really execute in those big moments. And I'm like, that's what the men's team does.
Fucking hell. Maybe it's just a curse when you put on that jersey.
Yeah, but I like. On the other hand, I don't want that to be true. Like I genuinely believe like the culture in the AFLW side is so much better because they play like watching them play, like they play with so much more, I don't know, decisiveness and like
they don't give up.
Yeah,
you know? They give themselves a chance to win every game.
Yeah.
Like we might not have the most talented or experienced team, but we never give up on ourselves. If every season that we've played in so far was a 17-game season, we play every other team in the league, I would confidently say we would make the 8.
Yeah.
Every single season we've been in so far, and this upcoming season. We got 4 games at Windy Hill. #Fill the Hill. I'm not looking forward to the first 3 weeks without Paige Scott.
Yeah.
We're trying her in the midfield, or we did in the what are they calling them, match simulations now?
Yeah.
Why can't it just still be the Wizard Cup? Like, fucking hell, man. But I like the idea of her in the midfield. She's such a competitor.
Yeah.
We put Bonnie in the midfield every once in a while, and then, you know, Sparks in the midfield, obviously. But our forward line is stacked. I feel like our back line is okay. It's good, you know, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's a completely fine, you know, above average back line, or thereabouts. But our forward line is just like every single player is like, oh, sick. Like I can imagine the ball entering the forward 50 and every single one of you being a threat to kick a goal.
Yeah.
Welcome please to the JVG podcast, where these G's are gonna spread their seeds of knowledge about the league. It's flourishing with these funny catchers seem to be well read, esteemed and honest. Like the man himself, Jeff Van Gundy, they are high IQ, so cerebral and funny. So if you're on the bus, just border on the dunny, listen to the
JVG NBA Tribute Show.
Hello and welcome to the Jeff Van Gundy Tribute Show. My name's Marco, and joining me today is Lucas. Lucas, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm well, Marco. How are you?
Good.
That's good. Speak up, buddy.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You just screamed that last bit at me. How you going, man? It's Tuesday. It's we've broken the cardinal rule yet again.
Yep, yet again. To no one's surprise but ours.
I think we even have to hash over what the cardinal rule is anymore.
You guys can fill in the gaps, read between the lines.
Yeah. So we're in store for a little bit of a different episode this week.
Should we be doing things a bit differently around here?
Yeah, and in what sort of way?
We're going to be talking about a different sport to the one we usually talk about.
Yeah, so we usually talk about basketball.
Yes, basketball.
Yeah. Go on.
And this week we'll be talking about football.
Yes.
Oval ball, as they call it.
Yeah.
Squish ball.
Yeah.
The Sharon.
Yeah.
Pig skin.
Yeah.
More specifically, our shared beloved Essendon Football Club. We're going to be trying to cover all facets of it. Obviously, we're... you may have heard that the men's season ended a few days ago. They won't be playing any more finals. We won't be hearing that song for a while, will we, Lucas?
Yeah, and we didn't hear it after a game.
No, we haven't heard it for a while either.
Yeah, I can't believe my strike rate on attending Essendon games and wins in a season where we won half of the games.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Lost half of the games and then drew the other game.
What was it? What was your strike rate?
Well, I didn't.
Drew the other game.
I actually didn't study that. But I want to say it was below 50%, but like not really close to either.
No.
I can remember